The high demand for those who can operate a big rig. Those stories and more. Another hour of Sunrise starts now.
You're watching Sunrise on WCBI.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday, December 26th. I'm Eric Crosswhite.
And I'm Renee Skinner. To help cut down on drinking and driving accidents, local law enforcement will step up patrols through New Year's.
The extra enforcement is part of the federal Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. That initiative provides grant money for departments to pay overtime for extra officers and those who are manning safety checkpoints. Police hope knowledge of the extra enforcement will help motorists make plans.
They know there's going to be a lot of people out doing extra enforcement. If they know they're going to be drinking and driving, they'll get designated drivers, taxis, Ubers, or something. And it gets a lot of impaired drivers off the road.
Safety checkpoints were ruled constitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court in 1990.
While people across the area were opening Christmas gifts, police officers in Columbus were beginning their first shift of the day.
I rode along with one of those officers to bring you this story.
We're on the front line. We deal with a lot of things on a day-to-day basis. We see the best of people. We see the worst of people.
Crime doesn't stop just because it's the holiday season.
Southbound, $45.
Which means the men and women in blue are out patrolling.
There's no such thing as a routine traffic stop.
Officer Raymond Hackler started his shift at 8 a.m. Tuesday.
This is it's a medium-sized beat. It's a fairly sized area.
Assigned to the East Columbus beat. Right now, we're riding around neighborhoods and back streets near Highway 69.
657, 44.
Before long, activity on the scanner. A brief police chase
Color, southbound.
that didn't require Officer Raymond to respond, but his ears are always on the shortwaves.
Always important for officers to get there, to give the information. And where they're at, when they're dealing with stuff like that, and also to get the vehicle speed, because that kind of gives us an idea as to how fast this person's going.
Another listening tool he values as an officer: the people.
The citizens that are out here in these neighborhoods, they're your eyes and ears. If you ever really want to know what's going on in the community, get out of the car, go out and talk to people, touch bases with them, get to know them, and they'll tell you a lot of things that you had no idea that was going on.
Community policing and getting to know the businesses that make up the area comes with the job.
I'm just going to run in here real quick and check on them.
We stopped at this Chevron gas station during the ride.
They really do appreciate on the holidays when you come in and check, just pop in real quick, say, hey, how's everything going? Just checking on you guys. Hopefully everything goes smooth today. If you need anything, let us know.
Hackler says a police pop-up at a local business helps ward off any suspicious activity.
They like that, that personal police.
Towards the end of my ride, another personal touch. A handshake from a resident.
You're Hannah?
Thanking officers for keeping a watchful eye.
As many people that are out there that say, maybe some not so nice things about, police officer, law enforcement in general.
Reaffirming a job well done.
There's just as many people out there that do believe in you. And to me, that's worth it.
And a passion for the patrol.
And that was our Renee Skinner reporting. Officer Hackler has over 25 years of policing experience.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
It's a bit of a chilly start to our Wednesday morning, currently sitting in the middle 40s out there, 45 at GTR Airport, 43 there in Starkville. It is mostly cloudy out there. We do have a few showers here across northern portions of our area. Those are continuing to move off to the east-northeast around 15 miles an hour, and those will move out as we go later on into today. But as we go into tonight, we're going to have even more heavier rain showers begin to move in. Looking here around 3 a.m., some moderate rain showers begin to move through our area. Then looking here at 7, we have a line of storms here over eastern Arkansas pushing across the Mississippi River. Those will continue to push in through our area here at 11 a.m. Storms will be rolling into Columbus. Some of these storms could have some small hail with them, damaging winds, and we can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado as well. As we go later in the day on Thursday, though, nothing but heavy rain is going to soak our region as we move later on into Thursday, and that's going to last on into Friday as well. On your Wednesday, though, for today, we will top out around 62 with wind gusts up to around 18 miles an hour. Renee, Eric.
All right, Jacob, thanks a lot for that update. If you shopped online this holiday season, you probably noticed that shipping costs have gone up.
And one reason is a shortage of truck drivers. Companies have now turned to an unexpected source for recruits. Here's Jim Axelrod.
Here's what you might expect to see driving I-80 near Laramie, Wyoming. Long stretches of highway, framed by rolling hills. Trucker after trucker making their runs, hauling everything from fuel to furniture. Billboards advertising where they can gas up. What you might not expect is that the trucker in the next lane is wearing a turban.
I cannot stay in an office, to be honest with you now. If you give me a job,
I know the feeling. Even with unemployment at nearly a 49-year low, there's a record shortage of truck drivers. This year, the turnover rate for truck drivers is 96%. More than 50,000 drivers are needed to meet the demand, and the shortage is forcing companies like Amazon, General Mills, Tyson Foods, and others to hike their prices to consumers. But one group of drivers, Indian Americans who practice the Sikh faith, truckers like Mintu Pander, may well be a big part of the solution. More than 30,000 Sikhs have entered the trucking industry in the last 2 years.
Mostly Sikhs, they want to keep the article of faith, like turban, hair, beard, mustache. It's a safety hazard for a lot of jobs required. And in trucking, they can keep everything, and they can still make decent living.
Pander bought a used tractor trailer 13 years ago. Today, he owns 9 rigs, plus this truck stop in Laramie. With so many Sikh truck drivers, Pander even added a Sikh temple to his truck stop.
How many truck stops come with a Sikh temple?
Not too many.
And his kitchen offers Indian specials, which attract new fans as well. But it's more than a friendly truck stop drawing Sikhs to a career behind the wheel. Recruiting videos that look like something straight from Bollywood promise a glamorous future. A fancy truck, nice car in the driveway, his wife making him food for the road.
Now, is this video based on reality?
Pretty much, oh yeah. The presentation could be a little eye-catchy, but that's a reality.
A prosperous reality for Mintu Pander.
People who say the American dream is dead.
It's not dead at all.
In fact, if you ask him, the American dream is humming along quite nicely on highways across the country. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, Laramie, Wyoming.
Well, maybe at some point those trucks were full of candy canes. Who knows? There's another day to celebrate right after Christmas, but relax, you probably already have everything you need for this holiday. December 26th marks National Candy Cane Day.
How did peppermint candy sticks become associated with the birth of Jesus? Well, it turns out nobody's quite sure. In fact, nobody really knows when the first candy cane was even made. A recipe for a white peppermint stick with colored stripes was published as early as 1844.
Its first known association with Christmas was documented in 1874. Since then, candy canes have been made in a variety of colors, sizes, and flavors. According to Guinness, the record for the largest candy cane is 51 feet long.
Candy canes have sugar, but no fat or cholesterol, so feel free to indulge on the minty goodness.
All right.
Speaking of, that leads us to our sunrise question of the day, brought to us by Mississippi Peanut Supply.
And we're asking this morning, do you eat candy canes? And because, again, it's National Candy Cane Day. And Jacob, let's see that poll.
Yeah, polls, most people do. 70% coming in saying yes, they do eat candy canes. 30% say no, and I don't know. I'm right on the borderline. Sometimes I do, sometimes I'm not. I just really have to be in the mood for a candy cane.
I agree. What do you think, Eric?
I think it just takes a really long time to finish a candy cane.
Right?
So probably at home is when most people are probably eat. That 70% is eating these candy canes, because I really never see people eating them.
That's what I'm saying. And watch, as soon as we leave our shifts, someone will walk toward us,
Yeah.
with the candy cane in their mouth and be like, "Ha, told you, I do it."
It happens all the time. People love proving us wrong.
They do.
Keep telling us how you feel about it. We got more Sunrise coming up after the break.
Welcome back to Sunrise with Renee Skinner and Eric Crosswhite.
Welcome back. President Trump says parts of the federal government will stay closed until Democrats agree to put up more walls along the U.S.-Mexico border to deter criminals.
Tom Hansen has more on the ongoing government shutdown.
The partial federal government shutdown is going into day 5. There are no signs of a break in the stalemate between President Trump and Democratic lawmakers.
I can't tell you when the government's going to be open. I can tell you it's not going to be open until we have a wall, a fence, whatever they'd like to call it.
On Christmas Day, the president said there has to be some kind of barrier to staunch the flow of illegal immigrants, drugs, and human trafficking. When asked if the $5 billion he wants for the wall is a firm number, he left it open. Instead, the president referred to the more general border security package he asked for from Congress.
It's complicated because we're getting $25 billion. It's already approved, but that's for everything.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said last week he won't bring up a vote unless there's a compromise bill. On Christmas Eve, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer tweeted, "The president wanted the shutdown, but he seems not to know how to get himself out of it. As long as the president is guided by the House Freedom Caucus, it's hard to see how he can come up with a solution that can pass both the House and Senate and end his hashtag Trump shutdown." Tom Hansen, CBS News.
About 800,000 government workers are affected by the shutdown. Many of them are on the job, but they won't be paid again until after the shutdown.
Well, next on Sunrise, we'll have your morning sports report.
That's right, and later, a school-wide warm-up. Ways the American Heart Association is helping kids stay active in school. And much more still to come. You're watching Sunrise. Welcome back to Sunrise. It's a good thing Santa Claus is back home and safe at the North Pole. A winter blast is striking the U.S., and that's causing travel headaches for millions. John Lawrence reports.
Many Americans didn't have to dream about a white Christmas.
Snow fell in parts of the West Coast, including California this week.
It was very fun.
This is probably like the best Christmas I've ever had.
But the white stuff isn't all fun and games.
This guy's about to hit this, people. Watch out!
A mix of snow and ice caused more than a dozen vehicles to crash on Freeway 15 near the Calhoun Pass in California.
I let it drift over, and I was getting over, and then it kind of just slid to a stop. And as soon as I got ready to go, the lady rammed into me. She jumped out, I jumped out, and then all the cars started coming.
This winter storm is expected to crawl across the center of the country Wednesday. Winter weather alerts are affecting more than 4 million people, and roadways throughout the plains and Midwest are expected to be dangerous throughout Friday.
It's not worth it, you know. Any accident is going to be slow you down even more, but potentially the safety of everybody else is obviously more important.
As for the South, forecasters say residents there should prepare for heavy winds, downpours, and even large hail. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The American Automobile Association anticipated that nearly 113 million Americans would be traveling during this holiday season. Well, speaking of weather, let's get another check on that forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley. Jacob.
Hey, Eric, we're starting off here this morning in the 40s out there, 45 Starkville, 45 Columbus, 47 up in Tupelo. Those temperatures are going to climb as we go throughout the rest of your afternoon hours here on this Wednesday. We do have a few showers to talk about this morning here in Calhoun County, over towards Lee County as well. Those are going to continue to push on off to the east-northeast at around 15 miles an hour. Those should move out by mid-morning. As we go tonight, though, we will see some more showers and storms will begin to develop, lasting on throughout the day on Thursday. In addition to those storms, we're going to see some gusty winds as well. We will see gusts up to around 30 miles an hour through the overnight hours tonight on into early hours of Thursday morning, and that's all associated with this weather system here that's going to continue to push on off to its east, which will bring it here around Thursday. Here Thursday at midnight, the line of showers and storms is beginning to develop there around the Arklatex region. Around 8 a.m. there on Thursday, it's approaching the Mississippi River. As it crosses over, it could have the potential to have a few severe and strong storms associated with it. We'll have to watch out for some small hail, damaging winds, and an isolated tornado cannot be ruled out throughout the day on Thursday. As we go overnight Thursday into Friday, the backside of that rain begins to pull on off to our east, leaving us with sunshine later in the day for Friday, with those temperatures remaining in the 60s for Thursday as well. But for Friday, we're going to be in the 60s once again, 64 in Starkville, 63 Columbus, 61 up there in Amory. So definitely some warmer weather. In addition to that ample amount of heat, we're looking at the ample amount of rain as well. 1.4 inches in Starkville, 2.8 in Oxford. We will see much of the area will see upwards of an inch of rainfall. Areas in the green here are the areas that we're going to watch for that severe weather as we go on throughout the day on Thursday. As we get closer to this weekend, we're going to watch another system begin to work its way back up into our area, bringing us more rainfall Saturday on in through Sunday as well. So we're going to end this year on a bit of a soggy note here on Thursday and Friday. Going on to New Year's Eve there on Monday, more rain showers return, but Tuesday, the first day of 2019, does look to remain dry. And now it's time for your Spiller Furniture and Mattress Store question of the morning. What is the shortest day in terms of daylight of the year? Is it December the 31st, December 21st, or January 1st? Stay tuned and you'll find out a little later in the show. But for now, we're going to turn things over to sports with Courtney.
Well, it was Christmas yesterday, and the Alabama football team had their holiday celebrations a little bit earlier this year. In preparations for the Orange Bowl, the Crimson Tide already practicing in Miami, preparing for number 4 Oklahoma. Quarterback Tua Tagovailoa joined in on practice as his ankle injury reportedly continues to improve. Something of note, 3 Alabama players did not make the trip and will not be participating in the playoff game. Head coach Nick Saban releasing a statement saying that redshirted sophomore offensive lineman Deontay Brown and Elliott Baker, along with sophomore tight end Kedrick James, have been suspended due to a violation of team rules and policies. The Orange Bowl kicks off at 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 29th.
We just moved up Christmas a little bit, watched the grandkids sort of open presents, and you know, our players all got to go home for a few days. So I think we're here now ready to get refocused on, you know, having the opportunity to play in a playoff game against a, you know, outstanding Oklahoma team that presents a lot of challenges.
I really just had someone there to just treat it.
Other than that, just rested. And at this point, we're doing a lot better. I got to move yesterday. You know, got to get a feel of it before we come out today. Today's practice. Feels pretty good.
Offense is explosive. Their offense got a great offense, a great leader, but in the quarterback and Kyler, a very good quarterback. So stopping that offense on all scales is going to be challenging, but we're going to have to go watch film on it.
Well, there's still some time left before Mississippi State faces off against Iowa in the Outback Bowl, but it's been a minute since we've seen what this Bulldog team can really do. As a quick refresh, here's a look back at the top 5 best plays and moments from Mississippi State's 2018 season. Starting things off at number 5, early in the season against Louisiana, Nick Fitzgerald throwing an absolute beauty to Kylan Hill, get the touchdown. Bulldogs would start their season off hot with a 3-0 start. Number 4, Fitzgerald here on the QB keeper, using his legs this time to find an opening and to seal the deal. They would upset number 8 Auburn. The Bulldogs get their first SEC win of the season, and they would get the first ranked win of the season as well. Number 3, Fitzgerald with the bomb to Justin Johnson this time on senior day against Arkansas. They would end up finishing the season out with an 8-4 record after that win. Number 2, can't forget about the Egg Bowl State fans. Fitz on the handoff. He's going to give it to Hill, who bulldozes his way through that Land Shark defense for the touchdown. And the Golden Egg would be returned home to Starkville. Number 1, and it's a personal favorite of mine, a perfect finishing play for Fitzgerald. Finds plenty of room to go, gets a touchdown for the Bulldogs. They would go on to upset number 16 Texas A&M. It would slot Mississippi State back into the national polls, ranked at number 21. That's going to be it for sports. Have a great rest of your morning and stick with us for more Sunrise.
This JTS Mortgage Minute is brought to you by JTS & Company Mortgage Professionals.
Hey, good morning. I'm Jeff Farnham. December has come and with it all the joys of Christmas. I hope you and your family are having a wonderful Christmas morning. And for those missing family members around the tree this year, I pray for your comfort and peace through this holiday season. Thank you to the military members and their families for the sacrifice you make all year, but especially this time of year. I pray you are kept safe during your time of service to our country. I would like to pause our typical Mortgage Minute discussion this morning to reflect on the real meaning of the Christmas season. It isn't the gifts under the tree, the lights in the windows, the cards in the mail. During this time, we as Christians celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. The Nativity story is in some ways simple and in other ways very profound. It is at the heart of understanding who God is and what He has done. In it, we discover a moving picture of God's willingness to come and meet us where we are, to use unlikely people like shepherds, innkeepers, and wise men for His glory and to supernaturally intervene on our behalf. God sent His Son to the world to provide salvation for all of us, the best Christmas gift ever given. How awesome is that? Jesus' birth and the story of His life is one of truth, love, and hope. Throughout history, we have celebrated Christmas in our own traditional way. Because of its deep spiritual meaning to us and because the teachings of Christ are fundamental in our lives, we want our youngest generation to grow up to know the significance of this tradition and the story of the coming of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Christmas is a time to surrender our will to do good will towards men. Let us pray for one another this Christmas day and ask Jesus to help every man and woman, whatever nation, race, or creed, to help us, to guide us, and to teach us, to strengthen us. And as we unwrap our presents and enjoy family time, I hope we can look at Christmas in a new light this year. I hope you will take a few moments to consider what is, at least for me, the true meaning of Christmas, a gift that was given over 2,000 years ago. So let's rejoice. Jesus is the true reason for the season. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and Happy New Year from JTS and Company.
This JTS Mortgage Minute is brought to you by JTS and Company Mortgage Professionals. Welcome back to Sunrise with Renee Skinner.
time is 6:31. Thanks for sticking with us. For the second time in weeks, a young immigrant child has died while in custody at the U.S. border, raising new questions. Anna Warner is following the latest developments.
Customs and Border Protection said in a statement the 8-year-old Guatemalan boy was already in CBP custody yesterday when he became ill and was taken to a New Mexico hospital. He was initially diagnosed with a common cold, then a fever. He was released an hour and a half later with prescriptions for amoxicillin and ibuprofen. But later in the evening, the child exhibited nausea and vomiting and was transported back to the hospital, where he died shortly after midnight. The boy is the second child to die in CBP custody this month. A 7-year-old Guatemalan girl, Jacqueline Call, whose body was returned to her home village yesterday, died from extreme dehydration after she and her father crossed the border illegally. Officials say she didn't receive treatment for 90 minutes after she showed signs of illness.
Please rise. I'll begin by swearing you in.
Call's death has prompted a Homeland Security investigation and criticism of Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen when she appeared on Capitol Hill.
Sir, what I can tell you
I'm talking about people who have died in your custody. You don't have the number?
I will get back to you with the number.
Okay.
The Guatemalan Foreign Ministry says the boy and his father entered the U.S. last week and were taken to a New Mexico Border Patrol station on Sunday. With Congress out of session for the holiday, Democratic critics took to Twitter. Texas Representative Sheila Jackson Lee said this shocks the conscience. Texas Congresswoman-elect Veronica Escobar.
I mean, over the last few years, there have been literally hundreds of migrants who have died in U.S. custody. It is especially tragic when children die in our custody.
That was Anna Warner reporting. The time is 6:33. Let's get an update in our morning forecast and bring in meteorologist Jacob Riley. Jacob?
It's a beautiful sunrise this morning we have here. I'm going to step off camera real quick so you can get a full look at it. Sun coming up here in downtown Columbus. It's going to be a nice day out there before the nasty moves in tomorrow. Currently sitting 50 in Winona, excuse me, 45 there in Starkville. Sorry, I got a little choked up. We have some rain showers that are across northern portions of our area. Those will continue to move on off to the north and east through the morning hours. We will see that sunshine return later on this afternoon. We will see more rain move in tonight, though, lasting on through the overnight hours and early morning hours here at 7 a.m. on Thursday. Have a line of stronger showers and storms that will begin to move into our area, lasting throughout around 11 a.m. That's when I expect the heaviest of the line to really begin to push through the core of northeast Mississippi. After that, we will see heavy rainfall last throughout the rest of your Thursday on into your Thursday night as well. Wednesday, though, is looking nice. We will see that sun return this afternoon, getting up to about 62 degrees. 7-day forecast, you can see those rain showers stick around all the way to close out this year. Now, taking a look at our billboard sketch this morning, coming into Miss Adeline, and she did a good job forecasting the rain there. It looks like she didn't really like it that much. I don't either, Adeline. But if you have a picture that you would like to send in to us, you can send it to our address here or email it to us at weather@wcbi.com. So thanks again, Adeline, for this beautiful drawing of the rain that's to come tomorrow morning. We'll have more local news coming up after the break. Stick with us.
Sketch the Sky is brought to you by Pediatric Dentistry of Columbus with Dr. David K. Curtis and Dr. Katie Curtis Wyndham.
Hey, welcome back. A nationwide program from the American Heart Association is trying to keep students active in school and address both physical and emotional well-being.
Chris Martinez shows us how it's helping get students in Los Angeles on a healthy track for life.
Circles forward. For kids at LA's Fairburn Elementary School, every morning starts with a workout. Feet together, jumping up and down. The school-wide warm-up is part of the American Heart Association's Kids Heart Challenge, a program designed to get school kids more active.
It just puts you in a better mood.
Coach Sasha Radich leads the daily 20-minute exercise that brings students from every grade together. The high-energy wake-up is part of a program that supports traditional physical education and brings PE into the classroom with brain breaks. Class lessons are also designed to teach kids about health and wellness.
Eat healthy, make healthy choices throughout life, stuff you hope they carry through, that you're giving them a base, a foundation now.
Recent guidelines from the American Heart Association say kids ages 3 to 5 should have 3 hours a day of light to moderate exercise, while kids ages 6 to 17 should get at least 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity every day. The benefits aren't lost on students like 10-year-old Yasmin Abai.
It really helps because it can make you stay fit and make your brain active, so it's not really like you're lazy all day.
Experts say kids who are active have better physical health, brain function and attention, and academic performance. Parent Jason Richmond believes including all the kids together teaches vital social skills.
You're going to have a 5-year-old look up to a 7-year-old and learn from them and experience this is being nice to younger people. So it's just one of these, it's a win-win.
And a winning strategy for a healthier life. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Now, in addition to being more physically active, the Kids Heart Challenge also encourages kids to drink more water and do good deeds.
The time now is 6:40. Stay with us. We've got another check on your forecast after the break.
your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Riley.
We're going to start you off with a live look at our Alpha Insurance Skycam network. The sun is coming up, starting to shine in some locations, but there in Louisville, Mississippi, you can see the sun beginning to come out. But over here in Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon, Alabama, up in Tupelo, it's a bit more cloudy, and we do have a few showers out there moving through the area right now. That's why we're cloudier here in Tupelo. It could eventually move on over into Vernon as well. But once these showers move out, we will be clear for the rest of the day. However, as we go into tonight, we will have some more showers and storms begin to move in. In addition to that rain, we're looking at some gusty winds, gusts up to 30 miles an hour, sustained winds in excess of 20 miles an hour. So a very breezy night is in store for this Wednesday night. And that's all due to this weather system that's going to begin to work its way on into our area overnight Wednesday into the early morning hours here on Thursday. A line of stronger storms will push on to the east, crossing the Mississippi River around 8 a.m. in the morning, and that will continue to pull on into our area, bringing us some damaging winds and small hail as we go on throughout the day. On Thursday, those showers will linger on into early Friday morning before they lift on off to our north and east, leaving us with sunshine Friday afternoon and for your day on Saturday as well. But for Wednesday today, we will top out at 64 Starkville, 62 Calhoun City, 61 up there in Tupelo. We could see some peaks of sunshine as we get towards the afternoon hours today, and then as we go on through tomorrow, that's when that heavy rain begins to move in. 3.1 inches there in DeKalb, 2.3 in West Point. Most locations will see well over an inch of rain. Some of us could, though, see upwards of 3 inches of rain. Here in the green, that's where we have the highest chance of severe weather for your Thursday. Now, once we move past Thursday on into this weekend, we are going to see another weather system kind of develop here along the Gulf. As it moves north, it will bring rain chances here to our area. So, not Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve is looking like a soggy one for us here across northeast Mississippi. We've seen that rain the past couple of days. We'll see it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, on through Monday. When we start 2019 off, though, things do look to be dry. Now, hitting back on our weather question earlier this morning, what is the shortest day in terms of daylight of the year? If you guessed B, December 21st, that was the right answer. Winter is our shortest day of daylight each year, so be sure you tune back in tomorrow morning to see our next weather quiz question.
Let's take one last look at our local headlines. A Lowndes County woman died in a late-night accident. Lowndes County investigator Brent Swan says deputies responded to a shots-fired call on Eileen Drive just before midnight Monday. Instead of a shooting victim, deputies found a 32-year-old woman pinned between a car and a tree. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant says the victim is 32-year-old Deanna Clark, who lived at the home where the accident took place. Merchant says the preliminary cause of death is blunt force trauma, but adds an autopsy will take place to provide more information. Lowndes County investigators are still trying to piece together the events that led up to the incident, but a 29-year-old man, the alleged driver of the car, is in custody. More information on the case will be released as it becomes available.
A community is in mourning after a horrifying fire claims the lives of 3 French Camp Academy students and a woman. The fire began Sunday night in a 2-story home in a suburb of Memphis. 3 teenagers and an adult were unable to escape the flames by the time the Collierville Fire Department arrived. The teens, Sharon, Joy, and Aaron ncic, ages 14, 15, and 17, were killed. A fire department spokesman says the house was engulfed in flames, and a man who lived in the home, as well as a neighbor, were trying to rescue the people trapped inside when firefighters arrived. CBS affiliate WREG reports the children were staying at the home of Danny and Kari Coudriet and their son Cole. They were hosting the French camp teens, whose missionary parents were in India. The mother, a 46-year-old woman, also died in the fire. The father and son were able to escape the flames.
Just frantic, trying to figure out how many people were in the house. I knew there was multiple kids there. I just wish we could have done more, figured out where they were.
The cause of the blaze is under investigation.
Mississippi is banning oversized and overweight commercial vehicles on its state and federal highways for part of the holidays. The State Department of Transportation says the ban was put in place Christmas Eve until today and will be enforced again December 31st through January 2nd. The department's executive director, Melinda McGrath, says the temporary ban on big loads is intended to ease traffic and improve safety for travelers.
The gifts have been passed out, and everything from new flat screens and firearms have found new homes. The task now is keeping them. Calhoun County Sheriff Greg Pollan says one of the first things people should do is take pictures and make notes about their new big-ticket items, just in case someone tries to steal any of them.
Write those serial numbers down, because if you're unfortunately a victim of a crime, sometimes it's very little that we can do to trace it. We can't enter weapons or anything like that on NCIC if we don't have the serial number, and you'd be surprised how many people don't. So we strongly encourage that. I mean, it takes a few minutes. Make you a list, hide it, put it in your safe, put it in your lockbox at the bank, and update it periodically.
Investigators also recommend not advertising any new gadgets on social media, and don't put boxes outside your home that can show thieves all of the new things that are inside.
Alabama lawmakers will hold their organizational session next month. Legislators will meet in Montgomery beginning January 8th to organize for the 4-year term. Lawmakers will elect a Speaker of the House and other leadership positions, approve rules, and receive committee assignments. The organizational session can last until January 17th. Governor Ivey and other statewide elected officials will be sworn into office on January 14th. The first day of the 2019 regular legislative session is March 5th. The time now is 6:54. Stay with us. We're going to wrap up things here on Sunrise right after the break. Welcome back. Aquaman has hit a major box office milestone.
That's right. Rick Damigella has that story and more in our Hollywood Minute.
But what could be greater than a king?
A hero.
Aquaman is the hero of the holiday box office. Variety reports the aquatic action-adventure made $10.9 million on Christmas Eve, bringing its domestic box office total to $83 million and its worldwide gross to over $500 million.
There's a family in our driveway.
It's probably the neighbors.
Here's a sneak peek at Jordan Peele's horror film, Us. The follow-up to Peele's Academy Award-winning thriller Get Out features a family terrorized by mysterious doppelgangers of themselves. Us creeps into theaters March 15th.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Andy Williams hits the charts. Billboard reports the singer's holiday classic, The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, has hit number 10 on the Hot 100, marking the late singer's first top 10 hit since 1971. The song originally charted in 1963. Singing along in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Well, we are wrapping things up here on Sunrise, but before we go, we want to take a final look at that Sunrise question of the day brought to us by Mississippi Peanut Supply.
That is right. We are asking, do you eat candy canes? Because it's National Candy Cane Day. And Jacob, what's our poll looking like this morning?
Our poll's sitting at 72% saying yes, 28 saying no. So the yays have it in this one, but I've always struggled to, I always break the little loop off every time I try to eat one.
Yeah, some places thin out too. The question we probably should have asked is, do you usually finish your candy canes? Because that's a hard thing to, that's a lot of peppermint.
It is. And then when I buy them, they are already broken and a lot, because you buy them in those boxes and you can't really tell, are they all together or if they're broken.
Even in the wrapping themselves, because each candy cane is individually wrapped, so even in that plastic, it's kind of hard to tell if one's broken or not.
It is.
Those tricky candy canes. Well, thanks for telling us how you feel about it, and thanks for beginning your day with us. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place.